do think that even half what Andy McCarthy said, which is if even half of it is true, then he's toast. I mean, it's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning. And this idea of presenting Trump as a victim here, a victim of a witch hunt, is ridiculous.
He has always looked like toast, and now he might be toast following Donald Trump's, oh, no big deal, 37-count indictment last week. His former lackey, Attorney General William Barr, spoke out yet again against Trump on Fox News, no less, saying that the government's classified documents case against him is strong and clearly concerning. As for the crimes in question, the Orange Monster faces 31 counts of willful retention of national defense information, a crime delineated in the Espionage Act that carries a maximum prison sentence of 10 years. Each count represents a different highly sensitive document that Trump allegedly kept at Mar-a-Lago, his Florida residence and private club. 21 of those documents, including some involving nuclear secrets, were found by FBI agents who searched the estate in August, yielding a total of 102 classified documents, according to the indictment. The other 10 willful retention charges stem from a batch of 38 classified documents turned over to the FBI last June in response to a grand jury subpoena. Despite Trump's insistence, Barr argued that the documents Trump had in his possession were in no way his personal belongings. Listen to this.
He's not a victim here. He was totally wrong that he had the right to have those documents. Those documents are among the most sensitive secrets that the country has. They have to be in the custody of the archivist. He had no right to maintain them and retain them. And he kept them in a way at Mar-a-Lago that anyone who really cares about national security, their stomach would churn at it. This entire thing came about because of reckless conduct of the president. If he had just turned over the documents, which I think every other person in the country would have done, they're the government's documents. They're official records. They're not his personal records. Battle plans for an attack on another country or Defense Department documents about our capabilities are in no universe Donald J. Trump's personal documents.
Oh, just battle plans and highly sensitive information about our capabilities militarily. That's all. Of course, right-wingers love to ignore plain evidence and just as much love to draw a false equivalency between documents that Joe Biden and Mike Pence, for example, had in their possession. But Barr also poured cold water on that comeback as well. Take a look.
There are two big lies, I think, that are out there right now. One is, oh, these other presidents took all these documents. Those were situations where they arranged with the archives to set up special space under the management, control, and security provided by the archivist to temporarily put documents until the libraries were ready. These were not people just putting them in their basement, okay? And the second thing that the president, this idea that the president has complete authority to declare any document personal is obvious. It's facially ridiculous.
Facially ridiculous, a perfect description of Donald Trump. Wow, so it turns out the other documents were arranged in advance, which seems normal and not a problem. Also important fact, those other dudes didn't resist at all when asked to hand the documents back over to the government. The Orange Menace, on the other hand, is facing multiple accusations of trying to obstruct justice. Those allegations include moving boxes out of a storage room, telling an attorney to search that room for classified material without saying that dozens of boxes are being kept elsewhere, putting him on literally a wild goose chase, suggesting an attorney hide or destroy documents that had been subpoenaed, and causing another person to make false statements about whether all the classified documents had been produced. Trumpy was not happy that his former AG called him out, writing on Truth Social, virtually everyone is saying the indictment is about election interference. Nobody is saying that. And should not have been brought, except Bill Barr, a quote, for no reason, quote, disgruntled former employee and lazy attorney general who was weak and totally ineffective, okay? It doesn't mean what he doesn't mean what he's saying. It's just misinformation. no space. Barr's doing it because he hates, quote, Trump. Why his own name would be in quotes, nobody understands. For firing him. He was deathly afraid of the radical left when they said they would impeach him. He knows the indictment is BS. Turn off Fox News when that, quote, gutless pig is on. His random use of quotes is one of the most disturbing things if it weren't for the constant treason and espionage that he is also, in my estimation, clearly guilty of. But despite all of that, of course, because the brains on the right are so broken, it's beyond understanding and comprehension of any rational mind. Guess who Barr said he plans to vote for? Claiming that neither Trump nor Joe Biden are fit for office, even though, of course, there's no evidence that he's presented of Biden not being fit for office. Barr said he would nevertheless go for Trump should 2024 turn out to be another matchup between the two men. So let's pause right here and discuss the insanity that is all of this. I just can't get over that he says it's not at all right. It's insane. This is espionage act. He's toast, but I will still vote for him. Farron?
The whole Trump insult thing there, I have to say, part of me, actually all of me, Bill Barr deserves every second of that. I mean, the horrible things that Bill Barr did while Attorney General, running interference, for the Mueller report, basically exonerating Trump when the report said the exact opposite. This guy deserves everything that Trump is throwing at him right now, with the exception of the insults, of course, about his weight. But other than that, Bill Barr's also right about how serious this is for Donald Trump. He does understand the law, regardless of what he did during the Trump administration. He understands how these things work. He knows how bad this is, but it just shows you at the end of all of it, how none of it really matters to most of the folks on the right. Because Bill Barr can sit there and be like, this is horrendous. Oh my God, this guy's basically committing treason against the United States. And let me go grab my MAGA hat because I'm totally voting for him in 2024. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters to most of these people. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, because you can make a great legal case, but then when you turn around and say, I'm still in this guy's corner, then nothing matters at that point.
100%, and I would even slightly disagree with you saying that he doesn't deserve the comments about his weight, only because when you sign up to work for Donald Trump, this person insults people based on their appearance. You're signing up for that. You're signing up to go and die on the sword of a man who will insult your appearance, who will insult everything about you if you show 1 ounce of honesty / disloyalty to him. Ray?
I think that you guys and Bill Barr are being a little bit unfair to Donald Trump, because who amongst us doesn't sit in our bathroom and leaf through, tactical plans for an invasion of Iran by the light of the chandelier? That's something we can all relate to. That being said, Bill Barr is a fake friend. That's really what I took away from this. And Farron is absolutely correct that, Bill Barr is someone who stood at the defense of Donald Trump. He was a part of the Trump administration. And really the only reason that we see him insulting Trump in this, or going against him on the news, is because he's fallen out of the good graces of Trump. And that's probably why at the end he slips in, in interviews he slips in, yeah, I'll vote for the guy again. I think that he's a danger to America and that he should probably be prosecuted. But I'll also vote for the guy again because, of course, he wants to be back at that inner circle. He's lost, the ability to have and wield political power within Republican circles, and he needs to get back in Trump's graces to do it. But at the same time, he's sort of got this little niche for himself in the media to go against Trump, be the guy from the administration who can speak against Trump. So at the end of the day, that's he's just a fake friend.
And it's the same Bill Barr that stood by Trump when Trump tear gassed American citizens so he could hold a Bible upside down. It's the same Bill Barr that testified against Trump during the Jan 6 hearings and said this is unconscionable, unbelievable behavior, but still, he's still my guy in 2024. It is very wild. And while Bill Barr still seems to have some hope for Trump to have come to Jesus and grow a conscience and still be his candidate, there's somebody maybe even more impactful in Republican politics that is standing in Trump's corner, at least offering him some words of wisdom. Let's take this video, please.
I'm gonna share some advice that I got from some of the greatest legal minds of our generation, of my lifetime. F. Lee Bailey, Alan Dershowitz, Johnny Cochran, Bob Shapiro, the great Barry Scheck and Peter Neufeld, Malcolm Laverne here in Vegas. The one thing they all told me and stressed to me: do not talk about the case publicly. Do not do interviews about the case. The Bakers threatened to quit if I did that. My point is, I don't know if Donald's lawyers are stressing this to him. If they're not, they should be fired and he should sue them.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a problem for the Orange Menace, who has not stopped yelling and whining about this case on Truth Social since the moment he was indicted. And obviously it won't stop at any point. But with friends like OJ, who needs friends is how I like to look at it. Wild. Any last thoughts on this, Farron?
Yeah, I mean, OJ's sitting there like, hey, listen, I've talked to the great legal minds and they say this. Listen, Trump's been told this by the judges. Trump has been told that by his lawyers. Why do you think that he's calling around every lawyer he can find on Google in Miami today? Because nobody wants to do it. No lawyer wants to take on a client that is not going to listen to their solid legal advice. So I find it kind of funny that he's like, hey, has anybody thought to tell Trump to just shut up? Yeah, the whole country's been telling the man to shut up for 5 years or longer, and he's not gonna listen. So appreciate the advice, man, but we've literally all tried it and it hasn't ever worked.
I really enjoyed the line where OJ said, one of the greatest legal minds, Alan Dershowitz. That might be the funniest thing I've heard in a long time. And of course, like Farron said, his advice is correct. Trump should shut the hell up. But he's bleeding attorneys last week on Thursday night. He had 2 attorneys defending him on CNN. By Friday morning, they had both quit. Within hours of defending him on CNN, they had quit because he is someone who's impossible to represent. And as someone who just graduated law school and is looking forward to practicing, that would be the biggest nightmare client. Someone, and obviously no attorney wants to represent someone who won't listen to them.
Yep, the only people who do have a hard time quitting Trump is almost all Republicans in this country. Other than that, it's very hard for him to find any loyalty. Luckily, he's got the loyalty he needs. God help us all.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.